Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpataruvesya Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mokam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram. Change to gallery. Hare Krishna. I welcome all of you to our Dhruva Maharaj section. I don't remember what we discussed last class. Yes, anyone remembers? Anyone? Okay. Anyone would like to help me revise? I think we completed what? Narad Muni hears from Dhruva Maharaj. Yes? Yes? Unable to unmute. Yes, Bhishma Prabhu, give them chance to express themselves. Yes, Udit Prabhu, please express yourself.
But you are not audible.
I am not audible?
No, Prabhu, you are audible.
Yeah. I think you have to increase.
The voice is very, very low.
My voice is low?
It is okay. No, Prabhu, it's okay.
Okay, it's okay. Yes, now please tell. What did we discuss?
Prabhuji, we were discussing about desires. So there are two types of desires, material desire and spiritual desire. And what Maharaj was asking and what Narad Muni was telling, instructing, there were mismatching. So we were discussing about the food. Somebody has got, if we give a child more than 100 ml of milk, it will create indigestion. So similarly, we have to give, spiritual master gives an instruction as per the appetite of the disciple.
Yeah, this is one thing we were discussing. Now I remember. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. So we were discussing how the disciple has to be honest and the spiritual master has to be also honest. The spiritual master has to give the disciple according to the level, and the disciple also has to be honest to express his level properly. So if the disciple is not honest, then spiritual master will not be able to also give honestly the instructions that are required. So both the side honesty is required, but especially on the side of the disciple, the honesty is required, that he expresses himself or herself very nicely. The disciple tells that, oh, this is my situation. So there is no ambiguity. Otherwise, if the disciple says, I am just a pure devotee and all those things, and the spiritual master will give instructions that like a pure devotee. So, oh, if you are a pure devotee, then you have already some savings. Why need to work? Just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. And then the person thinks, oh, why my spiritual master is telling me to give up job and everything? You expressed yourself as a pure devotee. And the pure devotee doesn't have to do any job or anything, just chant Hare Krishna and be happy. So in that way, that honesty we were discussing elaborately. Yeah. Anything else?
So Guruji, I think one point you also mentioned, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please tell.
Yes, to progress in spiritual life, we need to keep faith on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That is very much important for the pure devotees who wants to progress in spiritual life.
Yeah, so this is also very, very important that we discuss, that we need to have the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and to have that faith. Yes. Helja Mataji is raising hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we also discussed about pure devotee syndrome.
Yeah, we discussed elaborately about the pure devotee syndrome. Yes. Anyone would like to? You'd like to elaborate on it? The pure devotee syndrome.
Actually, Prabhuji, pure devotee syndrome is that we are not pure devotee, but we act like pure devotee. And that causes trouble to ourselves in our spiritual life.
So we act like pure devotee.
Externally, we show off like we are pure devotee. We don't like this, we don't do that. Just to show off, but our heart is not pure.
Yeah, so externally we show off that we are pure devotee, we are not pure devotee, and then we land up into big problems. This is pure devotee syndrome. Yeah. So today we will see this Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 8th chapter, 42nd verse. When Dhruva Maharaj stops speaking, Narad Muni is giving him instructions, and the first instruction what Narad Muni is giving is that, O Dhruva, whatever your mother has said to worship Krishna is the best path. Because Narad Muni had been testing Dhruva, now he is confirming that what Dhruva has come by the instruction of Mother Suniti is the perfect path. So Narad Muni first confirms that Dhruva Maharaj is in the right path. But then how to go in that path, Narad Muni is giving here instruction. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanang Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayang Mudiraye. Yeah, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 8th chapter, 42nd verse. You're able to see?
Yes,
Tattatagaccha bhadram te Yamunaya-statang suci Punyam madhuvanam yatra Sanidhyam nityadahare Tattatagaccha bhadram te Yamunaya-statang suci Punyam madhuvanam yatra Sanidhyam nityadahare. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear boy, I therefore wish all good fortune for you. You should go to the bank of the Yamuna, where there is a virtuous forest named Madhuban, and there be purified. Just by going there, one draws nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always lives there. Just imagine what is the power of going to Sri Vrindavan Dham. So Narad Muni is telling, you should go to the bank of Yamuna where there is the virtuous forest named Madhuban. Madhuban is one of the forests among the 12 forests of Vrindavan. There are 12 forests in Vrindavan. So Madhuban is one of the forests. And there be purified. So just by going to Sri Vrindavan Dham, one gets purified. You do not have to do anything. Just by being there, one gets purified. And just by going there, Narad Muni is telling, Yatra, that place, Sanidhyam, you see the verse, Sanidhyam, Nityadahare, one can draw very close to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because the Supreme Lord always stays there. Yeah, purport. Both, anyone would like to read the purport? Yeah.
Both Narada Muni and Srimati, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, advised Dhruva Maharaj to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Narada Muni is specially giving him directions how this worship of the Supreme Person can very quickly fructify. Right? He recommends that Dhruva Maharaj go to the bank of the Yamuna, where there is a forest of the name Madhuban, and begin his meditation and worship there.
Yeah.
Places of pilgrimage yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing his spiritual life. Lord Krishna lives everywhere, but still it is very easy to approach him in holy places of pilgrimage, because these places are inhabited by great sages. Lord Sri Krishna says that he lives wherever his devotees are chanting the glories of his transcendental activities. There are many places of pilgrimage in India, and especially prominent are Badrinath, Dwarka, Rameshwara, and Jagannath Puri. These sacred places are called the four Dhamas. Dhama refers to a place where one can immediately contact the Supreme Lord. To go to Badrinath, one has to pass through Haridwar on the path to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, there are other holy places of pilgrimage such as Prayaga, Allahabad, and Mathura, and the topmost of them all is Vrindavan. Unless one is very advanced in spiritual life, it is recommended that he live in such holy places and execute devotional service there. But an advanced devotee like Narada Muni, who is engaged in preaching work, can serve the Supreme Lord anywhere. Sometimes he even goes to the hellish planets. Hellish conditions do not affect Narada Muni because he is engaged in greatly responsible activities in devotional service. According to the statement of Narada Muni, Madhuvana, which is still existing in the Vrindavan area, in the district of Mathura, is a most sacred place. Many saintly persons
still live there.
Yeah, still live there and engage in the devotional service of the Lord.
Yeah, so just see how special is going to holy places. But there is a very special condition that Srila Prabhupada is mentioning here, if you see the purport. Places of pilgrimage yield a special advantage for a devotee in quickly advancing in spiritual life. So, first thing Srila Prabhupada is mentioning is that by going to a spiritual place, it helps, it has an advantage that a devotee advances in spiritual life. There are, just like there are four principles of which distinguish from dharmic behavior and adharmic behavior. So there is adharma and there is dharma. There is immoral activities and there is moral activities. So there are four principles which distinguishes from immoral activities to moral activities. And these are the four regulative principles which are recommended by the scriptures. That no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So anyone who does these four activities comes in the category of immoral, and someone who is not doing this comes in the category of moral or dharmic person. So a dharmic person is differentiated by following these four principles. Now in dharma, one can do karma yoga, one can do Ashtanga yoga, one can do Jnana yoga, and all those that are being explained in Bhagavad Gita. And finally in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna establishes how Bhakti Yoga is the supreme. So in Karma Yoga, there are some principles. If you remember in Bhagavad Gita, we had discussed about the principles of Karma Yoga. Krishna says about the three principles, that one is entitled to work, but one is not entitled to the fruits of the work. One is not entitled to the credits that are coming from the work, and the work has to be done as a surrender to the Supreme Lord. So these are the principles of Karma Yoga. Similarly, there are certain principles of Jnana Yoga that is explained. Similarly, there are certain principles of Dhyana Yoga that is explained. So then Krishna establishes the principles of Bhakti Yoga. That Bhakti Yoga is the topmost path. And Krishna elaborates in Bhagavad Gita telling that in Bhakti Yoga, one has to chant his name, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. One has to worship him. But exactly how to perform the Bhakti Yoga is elaborately explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the expansion of the principles of Bhagavad Gita, telling that Sarvadharman Paritechya Mamekam Saranam Braja, that we need to surrender to the Supreme Lord. But how to surrender? What are the methods of surrender? These are explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. And our acharyas have taken the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam and encapsulated, made them into sutras. Srila Rupa Goswami has in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the Nectar of Devotion, he has encapsulated all the principles of performing devotion taken from Srimad Bhagavatam and various scriptures. He has given 64 principles of devotional service. Just like there are 4 principles which distinguishes one from immoral person to a moral person. So if you really want to be a moral person, you need to follow these 4 principles of regulative principles, what we say. Then if you want to become a devotee, then you need to follow these 64 principles of devotional service. Now, so Rupa Goswami elaborately explains these 64 principles in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Someday we will take these 64 principles. So it is explained about how one should visit the temple of the Lord, how one should worship the Lord, how one should take darshan of the Lord, how one should offer a flower to the Lord, how one should put dandavat to the Lord. These are certain of the principles, 64. How one should take shelter of the spiritual master. So there are 64 principles explained by Srila Rupa Goswami. Now Rupa Goswami sees that these 64 principles may or may not be performed by everyone, because as Kali Yuga is progressing, these principles, it may not be practical to follow all the principles every day. If one can follow it, it is very nice, but it may not be possible. So Rupa Goswami reduces these 64 principles and takes out 5 principles which are most essential, which has to be followed by everyone. And these 5 principles form the 5 potent methods of pure devotional service. The first one is Nam Sankirtan, to chant the holy names of the Lord. The second one is Srimad Bhagavatam Pathan, to read Srimad Bhagavatam. The third one is to associate with devotees and take prasad with devotees. The fourth one is Shraddhaye Shri Murtaye Sevan, to worship the deities of the Lord. And the last one is to reside in a holy place, Dham Vas, to go to the spiritual place like Dham, like Vrindavan, Puri, and to reside there and to experience Krishna and go to those places and experience Krishna there. So these are the 5 principles explained by Rupa Goswami so that we can enhance our devotional service. So out of all these principles, if we see, Narad Muni gives all those 5 principles to Dhruva Maharaj. So the first principle Narad Muni is giving is that go to a dham, go to Vrindavan and stay there, because it's very easy to access Krishna there. It is Krishna's own place. But Srila Prabhupada writes that why it is easy to approach Krishna in holy places. You see, Lord Krishna lives everywhere. Lord Krishna lives everywhere. But still it is very easy to approach him in the holy places of pilgrimage, because these places are inhabited by great sages. So this is a very essential principle, that we may go to holy place. How many of you have gone to Vrindavan before? How many of you have gone to any holy place before? So we all have gone to many holy places before. I never went to Vrindavan before coming to devotional service. Rather, I didn't went to any holy place other than Puri. I used to stay there. But any holy place we visit, we get the benefit of the holy place of coming near to Krishna only when we visit with devotees, and only when we associate with sages or superior Vaishnavas who can help us to see the Dham in the proper perspective. If we just go to Dham just so that we can see it, like people say, oh, I have gone to Vrindavan, I have gone to Dwaraka, I have seen your ISKCON temple there, I have seen your ISKCON temple there, I have gone to visit all the places there. So people keep on saying that, and after saying all those things that they have gone to all the places, they are not able to follow the basic principles of morality. Why they are not able to follow? And why someone who is sitting and just hearing classes and maybe sitting in some place, like for example, I was just telling our Shama Priya Mataji, I was asking her that did you go to Vrindavan? She said, I have never gone to Vrindavan. This is the first time I am going to go to Vrindavan. Then she has become devotee, and still now she has never gone to Vrindavan. And she has become devotee in Middle East country, and never been to Vrindavan, but she has become a devotee. How she has become a devotee? By associating with devotees. But there are still some people in Vrindavan, they may not be practicing the chanting of holy names, and they may be roaming in Vrindavan, come to Vrindavan for some business and doing some business in Vrindavan, and smoking bidi and spending their life. So the point is, just by staying in a place, definitely we can come near to Krishna, but there is star, you know, like you have seen the small stars that is put, the condition apply. So the terms and condition is that we go to Vrindavan and associate with devotees. And if we associate with devotees, we will be able to experience. Like for example, you may have your bank account may get some lottery of 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crores. But you still need to go to your bank account to encash it. You have to sign it, and your signature has to be authorized, and then you will get that. So exactly in the same way, there is a process of accessing the Dham. We just can't go to the Dham and just think that if I go and experience the scenery of the Dham, that also will give a lot of benefit. Vrindavan and any other Dham, even just appreciating the scenery and beauty of the Dham also gives credit. That's how powerfully spiritually uplifting these dhams are. But we will be able to best access the mercy of the dham by by associating with the sages. And Dhruva Maharaj is being advised that you go to the dham, and Dhruva Maharaj gets the association of Narad Muni that how to behave in the dham. So this is the first principle that Dhruva Maharaj is being given by Narad Muni, that the place is very, very important. Just like to start any business, right? Like I remember my elder sister used to study in one women's college, Rama Devi Women's College in Bhubaneswar. Now, beside the college, the ladies' college, all the ladies' outlets like boutiques and all those puchka shops and whatever the ladies love, they had so much, that area. RD Women's College in Bhubaneswar, near that area, if you go, the speciality of that place is all the ladies' outlets are there, which all ladies like. There is ladies garment shop, boutiques, there are all those things. Why? Because it's a place where so many ladies come, and then if you want to do that type of business, so those people will go there. So in that way, a place is very, very important to do the business. So our business as a devotee is to awaken our love for Krishna. Yes, that's our business. We want to awaken our love for Krishna. We want to see that our love for Krishna is awakened and we develop more attachment to Krishna. And in that way, the place also becomes a very prominent figure in helping us enhance our devotion to Krishna. Just like for any other business, any other purpose, the place becomes a very important place. Yeah. So that is why the first thing Narad Muni is telling, that go to a place. Now, so when we go to the place, Narad Muni again says Dhruva. Later on, you all can read in the reading groups. Narad Muni says to Dhruva that you go and take bath in Yamuna. So taking bath is very, very important. Water has a very important role in trying to purify us externally, also internally. And Narad Muni says that you must take 3 times bath. The sannyasis are advised to take 3 times bath, and the grihasthas minimum they should take 2 times bath in a day. So that is what scriptures advise. And by taking bath, physically and mentally, one is relieved of the fatigue. So cleanliness is very, very important. Taking bath is just one aspect of cleanliness. There are other aspects of cleanliness also. We need to keep our home very clean and organized and orderly, and we need to wear fresh clothes. These all have an effect. Like you get up in the morning and you take bath, you wear fresh clothes, and then you start chanting Hare Krishna. Then you start doing any activity, you feel fresh, right? And if you don't take bath and you're just sitting and you are already all the everything after sleep, whatever is there in our face, everything is there, and we don't feel that inspired. So this is the second principle. As you will read, you will find that Narad Muni advises Dhruva to take 3 times bath. And you see, Dhruva doesn't know who is Vishnu. So Narad Muni, and that time it's not that Narad Muni gives a lamination to Dhruva that who is Vishnu, meditate on this Vishnu. That time there was no photograph. There was no smartphone or iPad, and you can keep a photo or Narad Muni. So Narad Muni gives an explanation to Dhruva so that he can meditate. So those later on, all these slokas are mentioned where Narad Muni speaks about the beauty of Vishnu. How Lord Vishnu is so beautiful, how he has special features, how he wears a pitambari, how his 4 hands are so beautiful with Sankha Chakra Gada Padma, how he has a beautiful garland, how his body is of the bluish hue of a fresh monsoon cloud. So like this, Narad Muni gives beautiful explanation of how to meditate on the Supreme Lord, so that Dhruva knows whom to meditate. So we will take one of the slokas. So after speaking all these verses on who is Vishnu, how he looks, and how Dhruva you should meditate on Vishnu, so this verse comes. Smayamanam abhidhyayet Sanuragavalokanam. Niyatenaika bhutena manasa varadarshabham. Okay. One more devotee. Smayamanam abhidhyayet. Sanuragavalokanam. Niyatenaika bhutena manasa varadarshabham. Translation. The Lord is always smiling, and the devotees should constantly see the Lord in this form, as he looks very mercifully towards the devotee. In this way, the meditators should look towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the bestower of all benediction. So Narad Muni is telling Dhruva that though Lord has such beautiful features and all those things, whatever I described, but the devotee is simply concerned about seeing the merciful smile of the Lord. The devotee is attracted and meditating on the mercy aspect of the Supreme Lord. And he is constantly seeing the Lord, who is always smiling, ready to give mercy to his devotee. So, purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions very interesting thing. The word niyatena is very significant in this connection, for it indicates that one should execute the meditation practice as stated above. So Narad Muni gives the meditation practice, and niyatena means as he has prescribed, it has to be done. One should not manufacture a way of meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but should follow the authorized sastras and personalities. So Srila Prabhupada is telling that it is important. The niyatena word means that we do not manufacture our own process of meditation. We do not manufacture our own process of practicing the spirituality. By this prescribed method, one can practice concentration upon the Lord until one is so fixed that he remains in trance, thinking always of the form of the Lord. The word used here is ekabhutena, which means with great attention and concentration. If one concentrates on the descriptions of the bodily features of the Lord, one will never fall down. So this is a very important aspect of keeping oneself very pure. So Narad Muni and Srila Prabhupada, they are telling that Dhruva, you can purify yourself by meditating on the form of the Lord. Like we come and take darshan of the temple, and if all of you don't come every day to take darshan of the temple, we should at least have pictures in our home where we can regularly meditate on the roop of the Lord, on the form of the Lord. Because that meditation on the form of the Lord, on the eyes of the Lord, on the on what Lord is wearing, it is very, very important. Like we should be able to remember what Lord has been wearing last so many days. Like for example, yesterday they had put to Nitai Gauranga some black dress. So I was, while taking darshan, I was smiling, telling that today is Mahalaya, doing Shraddha, and Lord has to wear white dress, but the Lord is beyond all these things, and Lord is wearing some black dress. And the dress was looking very beautiful and all, and nicely decorated. And prior to that, the Lord was wearing some blue and white dress. So we should, when we take darshan, sometimes I ask devotees what the dress Lord has been wearing, and they don't even remember the dress that Lord was wearing in that same day, very day itself. You know, they'll think, oh, I don't remember exactly what was the dress, how it was looking like. So, so this is how we are mindless in meditating on the Supreme Lord. So when we come to temple, or we all now have the facility of YouTube Darshan or Mayapur TV and all those things. We have those facilities, but those facilities we need to use so that when we close our eyes, we can immediately remember the form of the Lord and what Lord was wearing that day. And that Srila Prabhupada is telling, if one concentrates on the descriptions of the bodily features of the Lord, one will never fall down. So this is a very important aspect that all of us should try to follow and spend some time, few minutes in a day to actually meditate on the form of the Lord. Now, because of the advanced technology and all, we all have YouTube, all have Mayapur TV and all those things which all telecast every day, the darshan. So we should see the daily darshan of the Lord and meditate on the different aspects of the wonderful bodily features of the Lord. So this is a prescribed method of awakening our love for Krishna and also purifying our Chetana, purifying our consciousness. So this is second principle that Narad Muni is telling. The first principle is going to a place and purifying oneself, taking bath and staying in that place, sitting in that place and the place. The second one is meditation, and the third one is also, we will read now. Yeah. So this is 54th sloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Mantrenanena devasya.
Mantrenanena devasya.
Kuryadravya mayim buddha.
Kuryadravya mayim buddha.
Saparyam vividher dravyer.
Saparyam vividher dravyer.
Desakala vibhagavet.
Desakala vibhagavet.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the 12-syllable mantra for worshipping Lord Krishna. One should install the physical forms of the Lord, and with the chanting of the mantra, one should offer flowers and the fruits and other varieties of foodstuffs exactly according to the rules and regulations prescribed by authorities. But this should be done in consideration of place, time and attendant conveniences and inconveniences. Desakala vibhagavet. Srila Prabhupada writes a very beautiful purport. This purport is quoted in varieties of places, very important purport. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is known as Dwadasa Akshara Mantra. The mantra is chanted by Vaishnava devotees and it begins with a pranava or omkar. There is an injunction that those who are not Brahmanas cannot pronounce the pranava mantra, but Dhruva Maharaj was a Kshatriya. He at once admitted before Narada that as a Kshatriya, he was unable to accept Narad Muni's instruction of renunciation and mental equilibrium, which are concern of a Brahmana. Still, although not a Brahmana but a Kshatriya, Dhruva was allowed on the authority of Narada to pronounce the pranava omkar. This is very significant. Especially in India, the caste Brahmanas object greatly when persons from other castes who are not born in Brahmana families recite this pranava mantra. But here is the tacit proof that if a person accepts the Vaishnava mantra or Vaishnava way of worshipping the deity, he is allowed to chant the pranava mantra. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord personally accepts that anyone, even of a low species, can be elevated to the highest position and go back home, back to Godhead, simply if he worships properly. So this is the first principle Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport, that one should understand that there is no pre-qualification for uttering the holy name of the Lord. The holy name is so powerful and the holy name is so merciful that it doesn't have any pre-qualification. Anyone at any point of time, at any position, can chant the holy name of the Lord and get the unlimited benefits of associating with the Supreme Lord. Now the next point, The method of worship, chanting the mantra and preparing the forms of the Lord is not stereotype. nor is it exactly the same everywhere. It is specifically mentioned in this verse that one should take consideration of time, place, and available inconveniences and conveniences. Our Krishna consciousness movement is going on throughout the entire world. We also install deities in different centers. Sometimes our Indian friends, puffed up with concocted notions, criticize this has not been done, that has not been done. You know, like Srila Prabhupada, when he started making temples, he declared his 3 BHK flat in some apartments, like in America, some apartments would be there. He would declare this as temple. And all the people will say, oh, there is no Gopuram in the temple, there is no altar, deities are sitting on the table only. How can this be a temple? So Srila Prabhupada is telling that. So many of the Indians would criticize like this. But they forgot this instruction of Narad Muni to one of the greatest Vaishnavas, Dhruva Maharaj. One has to consider the particular time, country and conveniences. What is convenient in India may not be convenient in Western countries. Those who are not actually in the line of acharyas or who personally have no knowledge of how to act in the role of an acharya unnecessarily criticize the activities of ISKCON movement in countries outside of India. The fact is that such critics cannot do anything personally to spread Krishna consciousness. If someone else goes and preach, taking all risk and allowing all considerations for time and place, it might be that there are changes in the manner of worship. But this is not at all faulty according to scriptures. Srimad Bira Raghava Acharya, an Acharya in the disciplic succession of the Ramanuja Sampradaya, has remarked in this commentary that Chandalas or conditioned souls who are born in lower and then Sudra can also be initiated according to circumstances. The formalities may be slightly changed here and there to make them Vaishnavas. So Srila Prabhupada made a lot of changes in how made a lot of changes in the details of how to apply certain principles of devotional service. But what was the result? Srila Prabhupada, the Vedic scripture says that the Brahminical initiation should be given very, very carefully, only to those who are higher born and all those things. Srila Prabhupada gave Brahminical initiation, Gayatri Mantra, to everyone, those who are following the 4 regulative principles, and to even the ladies. So Srila Prabhupada did all those things, and that attracted a lot of criticism from the smarthas, or those who were trying to follow the scriptures verbatim, literally. The scriptures are telling, oh, that it should not be given to a person not born in Hindu family and all those things, whatever. But even those scriptures are also not telling that. They were trying to misinterpret the scriptures and speak like this, and they were criticizing Srila Prabhupada. But we see now how Srila Prabhupada he created such a wonderful spiritual movement where so many people's hearts were transformed. So the point is not about following the methods. So we have to see that Dhruva Maharaj transformation is definitely because he followed the methods, but his transformation is because the methods he followed was directed by an Acharya, Narad Muni. So we need to understand this principle very nicely in spiritual life. We need to understand that the spiritual life and material life is completely different. In material life, if you are able to mug up any book and mug up the question answers and do some experiments and get some results based on what you read in the book, and you give an interview and you pass in the interview, you get a job. Yes? But in spiritual life, just by mugging up some books or doing some self-experiments and self-meditation on our own, manufacturing the way whatever we can do, does not yield result until and unless those methods are prescribed by some higher superior authority. So spiritual life functions spiritual education functions much different than the material education. Because of so much of connection with our material education and so much of accomplishments we have got in material education, we start thinking that Bhagavad Gita also will give me knowledge the way my BL Theraja engineering, electrical engineering book, or I don't remember any other book. That is the only book I remember because Radheshyam Prabhu quotes this. H.C. Verma. Radheshyam Prabhu quotes B.L. Thereja a lot, so I remember that. H.C. Verma on physics will yield. Just by solving the concepts of whatever is mentioned, one can get all the concepts clear by reading the book. And that is the main purpose these teachers have written the books. These teachers have written the books so that they may not be available, but they will be available through the books. And you can read the books, you can understand the concepts, you can experiment based on the book, and then you can advance in material life. And you can have your own next book also. But in spiritual life, this is not the principle. The spiritual life, the principle of surrender is very, very important. Bhagavad Gita will not yield you any result until unless you read it under a guided spiritual master. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam will not yield any results until unless we follow the principle of Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashnena Sevaya. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, the methods of Bhakti Yoga, these are all actually personalities. Bhakti Devi is also a personality. Physics is not a personality, right? Chemistry is not a personality. Mathematics is not a personality. But Bhagavad Gita is a personality. And Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Devi is a lady, is a personality. So because these are personalities, and these are very, very highly evolved personalities, very special personalities empowered by the Supreme Lord, they have the power to actually see what is there within us. What is our attitude of reading and following the methods of Krishna consciousness. So Bhakti Devi is a lady who sees the attitude of a practitioner of bhakti. And based on that attitude, see towards the different results of devotional service. So sometimes we may be chanting for so many years together. We may not find the same advancement that the scriptures are promising for chanting, because maybe our attitude to perform devotional service is not that which is being appreciated by Bhakti Devi. So one should understand these scriptures and also the methods of devotional service what is being given. These are all various limbs of Bhakti Devi. Just like I have my hand, I have two hands and two legs, and I have a tongue and a mouth and all those things. These are the limbs of Sri Nitai Das. Similarly, mantra ucharan and dhama vas and Narad Muni is telling dhyan and all these process which Narad Muni is telling, these are varieties of limbs of Bhakti Devi as a person. And these the personality of Bhakti Devi will award us all these varieties of whatever results for performing the devotional service when we have the right attitude. Now one may say, okay, the right attitude is I am pure at heart. But the right attitude is not that you are pure at heart. The right attitude is how much surrendered you are to an Acharya or Guru. Narad Muni doesn't have the right attitude. Dhruva Maharaj doesn't have the right attitude. Yes? Correct? He has an attitude of performing devotional service to get some material things. But still, because Dhruva Maharaj was having the right attitude of surrendering to Narad Muni sincerely with dedication, following what Narad Muni is being telling and nicely, that is why Bhakti Devi bestowed Dhruva with all the special results. So we must understand how the material education and spiritual education, they are completely different. Because of going through a severe experience of material education, we may try to superimpose the same thing in our spiritual life, thinking that I have Bhagavad Gita, I have Bhagavatam, I have all the Puranas, and I can read, I can now, and there is chat GPT, and then there is like Hari Prasad Prabhu was telling, there is Bhakti Sastri, and then he was telling ki, Prabhuji, my English is not that good, so I write the essay and I put it in chat GPT, and it gives such wonderful, nice way it gives, and all those things, and it designs it. And so we may get all those things through the advanced technology and all, but we may not get Krishna. We need to understand that the books are all there, the methods are all there, the methodologies are all there, but we need to have the attitude of surrender to the spiritual master. And by doing that, Bhakti Devi will manifest herself in our heart. No matter how much ever we become great and we may have a lot of knowledge and all, it has no much position in devotional service. What is very, very important in devotional service is this attitude of surrender. And Srila Prabhupada, you see, because he surrendered to the instruction of his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who said that why don't you go to the Western countries and preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And he just followed that instruction. He got so much of empowerment. So we must understand that whatever instructions we are getting through the Guru Parampara, these are Krishna's words in our life. And if we take them seriously, then we will see advancement in our spiritual life. And the more seriously we take it, and with a right attitude we perform devotional service, you will see the changes in your attitude, changes in your consciousness. You see, Dhruva Maharaj, in 6 months he saw Krishna. Can you imagine? Yeah. So I have been last 18 years practicing. So in 6 months he saw Krishna. That's the power of surrendering to Narad Muni. So we must understand that we all can also experience Krishna and see Krishna, provided we also follow with the same dedication as Dhruva Maharaj followed. So sadhana can award us sadhya. Sadhana is the process, sadhya is the goal. So there is sadhana and then there is the sadhya. So sadhana can lead to sadhya when we have the right attitude. So if you do not have the right attitude, then sadhana may not result in the sadhya. We may be doing the sadhana, but it may not result in the sadhya. So that is why Srila Prabhupada in this purport ahead also, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning that how important it is to follow the instructions of the superior Vaishnavas, the Guru Parampara, and always feel that I am simply an insignificant servant of the servant of the servant of the Guru Parampara. I am trying to simply serve the instructions of the Guru Parampara. This is how Bhakti Devi will take us in. This is how Bhakti Devi will give us the right realization. Only when we think that I am just simply an insignificant representative of the Guru Parampara, and it is by their empowerment that I am able to do something. Srila Prabhupada used to always say that whatever I am able to do, whatever I am able to speak is all because I am simply repeating the instructions of my spiritual master. So in this way, if we have that right attitude of surrender, we will also see that not just we are experiencing Krishna in our life, we will be able to help others experience Krishna in their lives. So this is how material education and spiritual education are different. This is how the material process to achieve something and spiritual process to achieve something spiritually is different. So all of you, because all of you are educated and you have gone through a good education system and all those things, so it's my request that all of you please first understand how the spiritual life functions. It doesn't function like the material life. So when we understand how it functions, then we'll be able to actually access and do something. If I understand how in the room where I am sitting and giving a class, how the camera is functioning, how my iPad is functioning, how the lights are functioning, and how the AC is functioning, how the computer is functioning, then I'll be able to use it properly. But if I don't know how they are functioning, I may not be able to use them effectively. So similarly, bhakti will be able to perform and practice effectively and get the results as being promised in the scriptures only when we perform it under guidance. And at no point of time we should ever get a thought, and that thought is actually the beginning and the end of the fall down in bhakti, that I have become so great that I don't require anyone. So we should always understand that I am simply an insignificant servant of the Guru Parampara. And Bhakti Devi will access me, the devotion, the experience of devotion, only when I have that attitude. Otherwise, I may read so many scriptures, I may do whatever, maybe more austerities than what Dhruva Maharaj performed. But austerities and the methods that are prescribed in Vedas, the bratas and all those things, whatever we do, will not offer anything. Please try to understand this principle. This is the principle in spiritual life. We have to surrender to the bona fide Guru Parampara and understand it is only by their blessings we can get advancement in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, and Lord Chaitanya, they have showed us the path and their example of how to follow the Srimad Bhagavatam in our life and how to chant the holy names of the Lord. If we follow the footsteps of the Guru Parampara, we will see that devotional service will yield results in our life. So this is one principle which I thought to elaborate on and help you understand that material life, spiritual life works in a very, very different paradigms, in a very different way. Material education, spiritual education works in very, very different way. And that is why, and understand that these Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Bhakti, these are all personalities. When Gopakumar, I was reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when Gopakumar reaches Brahmaloka, he finds actually Vedas, Upanishads, the 108 Upanishads, who are all 108 personalities living there. He finds the 4 Vedas, who are 4 personalities living there. He finds Srimad Bhagavatam, who is a lady living there. So, and there is a discussion between all these personalities and everything. So in all universe, these divine personalities from spiritual world also have their expansion in Brahmaloka along with Brahma. And then it's like Srimad Bhagavatam is getting manifested in Kali Yuga. And Srimad Bhagavatam also has, as a personality, has the power how much to manifest to what person in what yuga. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Krishna appeared in this Kali Yuga, the Srimad Bhagavatam which is manifested to us is very, very special in this Kali Yuga. In other Kali Yugas also Srimad Bhagavatam manifests herself, but it manifests in a different way to the people. So we must understand this principle. And without surrender, we do not have any way to access. And sometimes if we surrender to the Guru Parampara, we may be able to access something which no one is able to access within the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a personality, right? Based on how you develop, behave in a way that you develop trust, that personality will reveal. Like for example, Bihari Govind Prabhu is a person. Based on how I deal with him with trustworthiness and all, and I create an atmosphere of trust in his heart, then he will reveal his heart to me. Yes, I cannot just put a gunpoint, put him on gunpoint and say, tell me everything, wherever you have all the money. He may tell little money where he has, but most of the things he will not tell. Those things which are in India, he will not tell. Only in US things he may tell out of fear. Because he knows India, I cannot get those things from India. So he will tell only in the US, in his home, what all things are there. He will tell, and the thief will take all those things. He will go away being happy that I have got. Similarly, if we read Srimad Bhagavatam, putting Srimad Bhagavatam on gunpoint of our intelligence, thinking that I will intellectually read it and try to intellectually find out some meaning and remember the verses, then it is just like putting Srimad Bhagavatam on gunpoint and trying to find out. And Srimad Bhagavatam will also give you some realizations, definitely. This person has come, and you will also get some benefit, but you will not get the actual benefit of following the path of devotional service. This is a very important principle that we need to understand, how material life and spiritual life, material script books and spiritual books, they function. They are all personalities. Chetan. Srimad Bhagavatam is a person, and we need to behave in a way that the person reveals us to us the knowledge. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapurana ki jai, Dhruva Charitra ki jai, Narad Muni ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai. Yes, and Bhakton ki jai. Yes, anyone has any question? We can discuss.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Okay, yes.
Yes, spiritual and material both are different. But as we are conditioned soul, we have to be in this material atmosphere, and within that atmosphere, we need to do the spiritual activities. It is not possible to just completely stay outside of the material one and do that. That is not possible at all. So I think we cannot avoid that in the present circumstances, because we have to struggle for the existence also in this material world. So how we can do that? I mean, it is not possible to get rid of the material world and just completely devote yourself in the spiritual activities.
Yeah, but I didn't mention that we need to completely devote ourselves to spiritual activities. But what I mentioned is, when we are doing the material activity, we have to follow the material principles. And when we do a spiritual activity, we have to follow the spiritual principles. So long we are there in the material world, we may have to do some material activities. But those material activities have to, we have to follow whatever principles are there of the material world. Like for example, if we are driving a car in India, there is a material activity and there is a material principle that the car has to keep to the left. And if you are driving a car in the America, so it's a material activity, but there is a material principle to keep the car to the right. So that material activity has to follow that material principle. But just like material activities, I have material principles which needs to be followed. Spiritual activity has spiritual principles which need to follow. Now, based on our advancement, we may have a particular percentage of material activity in our life, a particular percentage of spiritual activity in our life, based on what directions we have got. We cannot make material activity as zero. But what I am telling is that those spiritual activities have to follow the spiritual principles. We cannot follow material principle while performing spiritual activity and expect spiritual results. Is this clear? Are you getting the point? So I am telling that you cannot practice spiritual activities on a material principle and expect spiritual results. It will not give you spiritual results. It may give some material results of peace of mind. It may give some material results of making you advance in prosperity and giving you some wealth and money and some recognition and all those things. It will not give the desired spiritual results, because you have to follow the spiritual principle if you get spiritual results. Now, as far as how much to do material activity, that is based on individual how much we can do. But so long we are in material world, we need to have some material activities we need to, so that we can sustain. That's not a problem. But the problem is when we try to superimpose spiritual activities and try to do it with a material principle. Is this clear? Making sense? Yeah. Yes, Sabyasachi Prabhu, then Poonam Mataji, then Kushal Bihari Prabhu, then Udit Prabhu, then Rajesh Prabhu. This is the waiting list structure.
In fact, if you understand correctly, definitely Bhakti is 64, like Bhakti or maybe Panchanga Bhakti or Ekanga Bhakti, which is a part of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, are not mathematical formula which can give or which can guarantee success in spiritual path unless the bhava or mood or maybe character is missing in the person. Can we assume like that whatever scriptures have said, maybe scriptures or the instructions of scriptures are just like Mohini Murtis, where nectar is there, but it depends on the person whether he is a Sura or Asura and what benefit he is trying to get out of it. Will that be okay to understand?
Okay, yeah, we can use that example as an analogy that yes, the scriptures are Mohini Murti, but Srimad Bhagavatam is not like that. The other scriptures are like that. The other scriptures give knowledge in that way. Like for example, the scriptures like Shiva Puran and the scriptures like Devi Puran and all those things, they speak in such a way that Lord Shiva is supreme. So we cannot say that Lord Shiva is not supreme. Lord Shiva is supreme, but in one context he is supreme. So those who are the demons and all, they will use the scriptures and deride the Vaishnavas, telling, oh, you see, you are telling that Vishnu is supreme, Lord Shiva is supreme. So in that way, they are bewildered. So in this way, the analogy is correct, that in this way they are bewildered by Shiva Puran. But actually they are not just bewildered. In Mohini Leela, the Asuras were just bewildered. They didn't got any upliftment of seeing Mohini Murti. But scriptures are not Mohini Murti, scriptures are mother. So a mother sometimes may bewilder the child, and a Mohini Murti may bewilder a child, but there is a difference between mother bewildering a child and Mohini Murti bewildering a child. Just like a mother may bewilder a child, Shiva Puran may bewilder a person, and Mohini Murti may bewilder the Asuras. But when Shiva Puran bewilders the mind of the Asuras, telling that Lord Shiva is supreme, so it is just like mother bewildering the child in telling, oh child, look, 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 what is there? This is such a nice banana. And in that banana piece, there is a small little bit of medicine in that. And the child, oh, mother, give me the banana. And then the poor child puts the banana, and then the child takes the banana along with the medicine. So the scriptures are definitely sometimes bewildering. They may speak in such a way that in one scripture Lord Shiva is told supreme, in one scripture Vishnu is told supreme, in another scripture someone else is supreme, but they are not compared to Mohini Murti, they are compared to Ma or mother. So mother may also give some bewildering things or tell some things which is bewildering the kid, but it is always uplifting. But in the Mohini Murti Leela, the Mohini Murti bewildered the asuras and didn't give anything. But when the scriptures bewilder the minds according to different levels, they give a step to upliftment. So in this way, you can say that this is different from that analogy, and the analogy has limitations that of comparing the scriptures to Mohini Murti or Bhagavatam or the principles of devotional service. They're actually compared to mother. So as a mother, sometimes the mother will tell the child, oh Betu, like Poonam Mataji says, oh, don't touch that, it will give electric shock. But it may not give electric shock. Like for example, if Poonam Mataji says to Sahas that, go, don't touch that light, don't switch on that light, it will give electric shock. But it may not give electric shock. But as a mother, Poonam is bewildering Sahar's mind, telling that it will give electric shock. Why? Because she is concerned that today he is touching the switch, tomorrow he will touch the point where the bulb is coming out, and definitely he will get the shock. So in this way, the scriptures are compared to mother, which help different living entities to uplift. So as Mohini Murti case, the suras got the nectar and the asuras didn't got the nectar, but then the asuras didn't got any upliftment. But in case of the scriptures and the process of devotional service, even if a person does not have the right bhav and everything, and the scriptures are revealing something else to that person based on his position, and if the person follows it, he will get elevation. He will get elevation. His attitude will transform, and slowly he will have the right attitude. So that's the difference between these analogies. Does that make sense? Yes? Anyone else? Yes, Poonam Mataji. Next question. Yes, they are not able to switch on. Yeah. I thought Bhishma has.
Maybe waiting for Sabyasachi's reply.
Okay, so he let him reply. Then you ask the next question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
Prabhuji, like as per your instructions, chanting of the holy name is the most important thing that you always mention.
Not my instruction. Srimad Bhagavatam.
Or as you are the
Okay, okay.
But the thing is that, like Udit Prabhu also says that sometimes I get taste of chanting. I never get that taste.
Okay.
In other things of which are the other limbs of bhakti, like kirtan or duty worship or looking for the Lord, something else, then little bit or hearing some Leela based lecture of it. So or dham, then some ras is there, but chanting I don't get the taste and don't understand also what you all experience. So how to do that?
Yeah. So there are varieties of limbs of devotional service. We have the 5 potent forms and the 64 principles. Some principles we may get taste, and some principle we may do it as a duty. And that's very much fine, no problem. So which all devotional activities you find taste, you do it very nicely. And those devotional service you do not find taste, you do it as a matter of duty. So, and slowly, those devotional service which you find taste, more and more you do it, like kirtans. It's not that we have to be miserable in performing devotional service. We have to be happy. If you are feeling happy that you, while chanting in a musical form, in an entertainment form, in sankirtan form, than japa, and if you are finding, hearing some leelas, So devotional service is of 9 types, and any devotional service where you are finding taste, and if it is performed with the right attitude, it will give you elevation and upliftment, and you will give you love for Krishna. That's how every limb is so powerful. But just because you are performing those limbs, that doesn't mean that we don't chant then 16 rounds of Hare Krishna, we don't chant Hare Krishna, we just hear the Leelas, because it is advised by the spiritual master. So the spiritual masters have advised us to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and if we are finding the taste or not finding the taste, we do it as a duty. And those devotional service we are finding taste, we do that with lot of taste, and we may give more time to them. We may chant with duty, and other times we can do Sankirtan. That's very much fine. And if you're not finding the taste, that is not as very alarming, because when Krishna sees you performing those devotional activities where you find taste with devotion while doing the Kirtan, because you are finding taste in Kirtan, so while doing Kirtan, you pray to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, please help me to find taste in chanting." So while hearing the Leelas, you pray to Krishna that, "Oh Krishna, I am able to relish hearing your pastime so much, but why don't you bless me that I relish chanting your holy name?" There is no difference in hearing your Leelas, and there is no difference in chanting Japa. But why is like that? Why can't you bless me, Krishna? So please bless me, Krishna. So those devotional service which you are doing with lot of taste, so just add another element of prayer in it. While doing that, you pray that, "Oh Krishna, give me also taste in chanting. You are giving me taste in hearing classes. You are giving me taste in Sankirtan. Give me also taste." So, but don't be so alarmed. Don't get so disturbed. Rather, you should be grateful. There are some aspects of devotional service where I am finding taste. So Krishna has blessed me with so much of mercy that I am able to find his Leelas interesting. And previously, I used to find all the Leelas of the actors and actress interesting from the Filmfare magazine. Now I am finding Leelas of Krishna from Bhagavatam interesting. So Krishna, I am so happy. I am so grateful that I have been blessed like this. So you think like this, and while performing the devotional service, pray to Krishna that, "Oh Krishna, though I am loving to hear your classes, lectures, and though I am loving to chant in Sankirtan in a musical way, but somehow I am always chanting the Hare Krishna as a matter of duty. If you are really pleased with my Kirtan today, please bless me to chant nicely, O Krishna." So when we are if you just have add another element of prayer, and so long Krishna has not blessed you with chanting with rasa or taste, you just do it as a duty, hoping that one day Krishna will bless me with the taste, because I am praying every time I am doing Kirtan that, "Oh Krishna, bless me with the taste." So you do not have to worry about taste in chanting. Rather worry whether you are becoming more prayerful in Kirtan where you are finding taste. So in spiritual life, we do not have to focus on weakness. We have to focus on our strength. If you are having the strength of finding a taste in Kirtan, do it very nicely. Just add a little element of prayer, and don't be concerned about so much about chanting. Just chant it as a duty, but add an element of prayer. "Oh Krishna, help me." Okay, does that make sense or practical sense?
Yes, sir.
We are able to, yeah, okay, Kushal Bihari Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving this wonderful class.
Yeah.
Actually, regarding reading the scriptures,
I don't know what class I gave, but I didn't even prepare yesterday because I was writing the book, and I just spoke whatever came to my mind just early morning after chanting sometimes, and then I sat. I don't know what I spoke, but yes, something I spoke.
Yes. So yeah. You told about how it is important to surrender to Guru. Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara through Guru. At the same time, we see a lot of emphasis is given in ISKCON also to read Srimad Bhagavatam, read Srila Prabhupada books, and one of the 5 limbs is to read Srimad Bhagavatam. And if we read Srimad Bhagavatam, again in that we'll find principle that Srimad Bhagavatam is telling that we have to surrender to Guru Parampara. So ultimately, if somebody reads, when you say scriptures, does it include even the scriptures written by our acharyas, or it, as you were telling that if we just read scriptures, it is not guaranteed that if our attitude is not right and we are not surrendering to Parampara. So basically, if scriptures are telling that we have to surrender to Parampara, that means we are not following scriptures also if we are not following Guru Parampara. So this looks interconnected to each other. Like Guru also says that you have to read scriptures. ISKCON is telling read scriptures, and when we read scriptures, the scriptures are telling you surrender to Guru Parampara. So how to compare these two? Can we compare? Or how do
so we can easily compare that we are reading those scriptures, but our intelligence we are keeping like a dam based on the commentaries given by acharyas on the scripture. So we may be reading scriptures, but our intelligence is not just we try to think anything and everything. Whatever our acharyas have told, whatever Srila Prabhupada and Asada 6 Goswamis, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we read them, and based on those we keep like for example, recently I was giving a Bhagavatam class in temple on the sloka where Uddhava is relaying a message to Krishna that, "O Krishna, the wives of the kings who are imprisoned by Jarasandha, they are feeling very, very distressed. Go and deliver them." And in that, Uddhava mentions about the gopis, Sita and all those things. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, actually this is a secret message to Krishna telling deliver the gopis. Because delivering the wives is already done, accomplished by telling deliver the kings, which Uddhava has already said. So why again speak about the wives? So Krishna is giving Uddhava is giving a secret message. Now this is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur saying. Now I elaborated that point through the verse. I didn't take out some another principle which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur or any of our Acharya has not spoken and elaborated. Now if you hear the class, entire class I am trying to elaborate on the principle that how this is a secret message to the gopis. This is one statement by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the entire purport, and that statement I elaborated it more. So this is what we can do while reading scriptures. When we are reading scriptures, we have to guide our intelligence based on our acharyas. And that's how the connection is between the acharyas and the Guru Parampara and the scriptures. So Shastra, we have to read according to the acharyas. So that's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita says to Pradyumna Mishra, who had come to read Bhagavatam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bhagavata Padagiya Bhagavata Sthane. One should read the Bhagavatam under the supervision of a Bhagavat or in Guru Parampara. So now ISKCON is telling to read Bhagavatam, but we are not telling you to read the slokas of Bhagavatam or the translation that is available anywhere and everywhere. We are telling you to read Bhagavatam based on the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, what commentaries are given. Similarly, the Sri Sampradaya may recommend you to also read Bhagavatam, but they will also recommend you to read Bhagavatam based on the commentaries by the Ramanujacharya and all. That's all very much fine. Because we are following the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we are reading the Gaudiya Vaishnava commentaries to it. Sri Sampradaya someone is following, they may read the Sri Sampradaya commentaries to it. That's all very much fine. But our reading of scriptures should be based on what the commentaries of our acharyas they are giving. And mostly we must refer to only the commentaries of our own acharyas, of our Sampradaya. We should be loyal to our Sampradaya, and we have come in this Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Guru Sisya Sampradaya. we must be loyal to it and read. And very few times, like 10% of our time we can devote to the commentaries of other sampradayas, so that that is the principle of loyalty. It's not that other sampradayas cannot give us upliftment, but it's just to show the principle of loyalty to the Guru Parampara. Other sampradayas, all Vaishnav sampradayas speak the same principle, but we must be loyal to our Guru Sampradaya. So the scriptures are telling follow Guru, means that if you really want to understand me, follow the Guru Parampara. This is what scriptures are telling. Guru is telling that follow the scriptures, meaning that if you really want to realize Krishna, you have to follow scriptures. So that's what both are interconnected. Scriptures we have to read based on the explanations given by the Guru Parampara. So we have to use our intelligence in the same way how the Guru Parampara has used their intelligence. Does it make sense? Or you have more doubt?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like in book Bhagavatam and person Bhagavatam, both are emphasized.
Yeah, both are emphasized. Bhagavata pada gya Bhagavata sthane. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says one has to read scriptures under the guidance and supervision of the spiritual master and the Guru Parampara. That's clear? Yeah, yes, Udit Prabhu.
So, my question is, like in material life, there's a lot of recognition as well as validation, which is there of our achievement. But in spiritual life, last time when I asked you a question on how do we measure, like how we are progressing, you said that it's based on the attentiveness in the chanting, which is increasing. However, I just wanted to ask Prabhu, is it only on this part, or like scriptures also give us validation of how much we are progressing spiritually? Like, for example, increasing in detachment or something else. So is there also something like that which scripture mentioned, which tells us, okay, we can go to that framework and see, okay, now I have progressed that much, or I'm getting more realization, I'm getting more and more knowledge out of it.
So three principles scripture speaks. Bhagavatam speaks in the 11th canto, three principles. You can refer this verse. I don't know the verse number. It comes in 11th canto. Bhakti, para isha anubhava, viraktir anyatra cha. So bhakti, para isha anubhava, virakti. These three principles are parameters for determining our advancement in scriptures, advancement in devotional service. Bhakti means the taste in which and the commitment in which we perform varieties of limbs of bhakti. Previously, we may not be that committed. Oh, ठीक है, today आज chanting बच गया, कल कर लेंगे. Anyway, कहाँ मर जा रहे हैं कल हम. So this is so, but our commitments to devotional principles increase. Nothing will, no matter whatever situation happens, I will follow the four regulative principles. I will chant the 16 rounds. So based on the dedication to the commitment to bhakti, this is the first parameter, bhakti. And in the beginning, the bhakti we may just do out of commitment and duty. मेरे को करना है इसको. I will complete it. No matter whatever happens, I will follow the four regulative principles. No matter whatever, I may be put at gunpoint, but I will follow it, no matter what happens. So this is commitment. Next one is experience. Para isha anubhava. Previously, those commitments were dry commitments. Just I have to do because I committed. I made a vow to my spiritual master. But then slowly, the next thing, that is para isha anubhava. I will be able to experience Krishna in those commitments. Previously, I will chant Hare Krishna, not experience Krishna. I will do Sankirtan, not experience Krishna. I will read Srimad Bhagavatam, not experience Krishna. But para isha anubhava will come. I will be able to experience Krishna. Para isha anubhava also means that in our own anubhavas in material life, we will be able to connect spiritual life more nicely. In one situation, we will be able to connect Krishna. A situation happened, we will be able to connect Krishna very nicely. That is also para isha anubhava. We can see the material situations and find spiritual connections. So this also proves that the person is experiencing Paraisha Anubhava. He will see an apparently material situation, but immediately he will draw a spiritual conclusion to it. So this is Paraisha Anubhava. And then there is Virakti, detachment from the material life, detachment from the enjoying the material world, and attachment to spiritual world. So these are the three framework which Bhagavatam says in 11th canto that we can determine how we are progressing. First is commitments, second is Paraisha Anubhava, experience within that commitments or experiencing spiritual life within material commitments, Paraisha Anubhava, and third one is definitely detachment, renunciation. So if we really want to parameterize our devotional service, Bhagavatam says we can see how we are progressing within these three parameters. Okay, so this verse you can refer, Bhakti Paraisha Anubhava Virakti Anyatra Cha. This purport is also very nice. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a very nice purport. It says how hunger, satisfaction and cessation of hunger, everything goes away. He gives an example. Read that purport. I forget the verse number, but this is how the verse starts.
Sure. Now just one question. Prabhupada did mention Navdeep Dham in the holy places in the purport. Is there any reason for that?
No, I think, I don't know. I don't know. I think the purport I didn't read all the purport. Maybe later on Prabhupada will be mentioned. Vrindavan Dham is mentioned elaborately, and I don't know. There is nothing like Navdeep Dham is also Dham. So many Dhams. Yeah. Yes, Rajesh Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat.
I have a question. It may be vague, but since it came into my mind, and even I countered these questions many times, so I thought I need to ask it. Why did Narad Muni guide Dhruva Maharaj to chant the name of Lord Vishnu instead of Krishna? In other words, before Rama and Krishna, in the Ramayana and Mahabharata period respectively, what were the mantra used to chant the Supreme Lord? And it was not Krishna.
Oh, yeah. So, Narad Muni is actually giving instruction to Dhruva Maharaj in Satyuga. The time which is there is Satyuga. In Satyuga, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, this Dwadas Akshar mantra is the Mahamantra for Satyuga. And that's why Narad Muni gave the same Mahamantra. Like in Kali Yuga, the Mahamantra is Hare Krishna mantra. It's mentioned in Kali Santrana Upanishad. So we give the Hare Krishna mantra. So even Narad Muni also is not manufacturing anything. He is also giving whatever is mentioned in the scriptures. So that is also the credit of Narad Muni. The credibility of a spiritual master is he doesn't manufacture anything. The scriptures are telling, just give it. So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is the mantra for Satyuga. So that's one. And also Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is the mantra invoked, chanted before reading any scriptures, because Vasudev is the in charge of our intelligence. So every sensory organs has also a sensory devata or spiritual or Krishna who controls the senses. Mind is controlled by Pradyumna, intelligence is controlled by Vasudev. So before reading scriptures, we invoke the Ishtadev of the intelligence. These intelligence sensory organs are also personalities. The mind has a personality, or the personality who takes care of the mind. Now why Krishna has kept that? Krishna has kept that to control everyone's mind in a way that he wants things to be done. So you will see that at a particular time, everyone's mind will get disturbed in a particular way. How is that? There is a mind devata who controls the mind on a global basis. On a central local basis, we all have our mind which acts like a monkey, but then there is a devata to it, and that devata also has an Ishtadev. So similarly, the global intelligence is a matter. Matter cannot function on its own until unless there is supervision of spirit. like the laptop, the car, these are all matter. They are performing whatever it is performing, like Vishma is sitting beside the laptop and that's why the computer is performing. So there has to be a spirit to operate the matter. So exactly in the same way, these elements, earth is an element, so earth has a deity, that is Bhumi Devi. Water is an element, Varuna Dev. Agni has an element, Agni Dev. Air has an element, Vayu Dev. And then ether has an element, so someone, I don't know who is the Dev or Devi for it. Similarly, Man, Pradyumna, Man has a Man Devata, and Buddhi and Ahankar. And then all these Agni Dev, Varuna Dev and all Mana and all these Devatas have their Ishta Dev also. Have their, just like in someone's home Radha Krishna may be worshipped, someone's home Jagannath. So similarly, these, they have their Ishtadev. Even Sunny Dev has his Ishtadev. So all these Devatas have their own Vishnu deities in their homes, which they worship. That is their Ishtadev. So the intelligence worships Vasudev, and Vasudev is the presiding deity for intelligence. And that is why we also invoke Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is the two reasons we this mantra. First reason is that Dhruva Maharaj is in Satyuga, and this is the mantra for Satyuga. Is this clear?
Second one, which is like the same questions. In other words, so before Rama and Krishna in Ramayana, like why it was not Lord Krishna? Was like they were more intelligent than us in any way. So they were having the better knowledge that who is the supreme of this universe or entire multiple universe. So they could have chanted the name of Krishna in first place itself.
Yeah, correct. So Krishna is not revealed in all yugas. Krishna is revealed only once in a day of Brahma. So that's how Krishna is not much revealed. Vrindavan is not revealed. Vrindavan and Krishna is revealed once in a day of Brahma, only when Krishna comes down from the spiritual world. Before that, Vishnu and Narayan are revealed. So that is also why Narad Muni is not revealing to Dhruva Krishna. Narad Muni is revealing to Dhruva Vishnu. And as far as Krishna and Vishnu are concerned, both do not have any difference. Constitutionally, Krishna and Vishnu are same only. Only Krishna has a different mood, Vishnu has a different mood. So like Rajesh, when he goes to DRDO, wearing some dress and all uniform, and he is not different. He is the same Rajesh, but a different mood. And in home, Rajesh is different. So Vishnu and Krishna is not different, it's the same thing. Krishna is in a different mood, Vishnu is in a different mood. They are the same Vishnu Tattva only. But in not all yugas, the mood of Krishna or the way to reach to Krishna is revealed only in specific Dwapar yugas. Once in a day of Brahma, in specific Kali yugas, Krishna is revealed. And that is why Narad Muni didn't reveal Dhruva about Krishna, following the norm of that Satyuga in which only Vishnu is revealed. So in that way, we can understand that how specially fortunate we are to be born in this specific, special Kali Yuga and Dwapar Yuga, where Krishna is being revealed and Vrindavan Dham is being revealed. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Yes, Lalit Prabhu, last question. Yes, Dandavat, Dandavat.
There is actually one of our duties in the spiritual progress, as was advised earlier, is also to mold others or advise others to the path of Lord Krishna. So, following that, I had advised one lady who is relative of me only, living in Calcutta, about this, and she has also some knowledge following the YouTube on this on the Krishna's matter, and molded herself quite a lot. she is following a guru who is the founder of the replica of the temple he has constructed in Kalyani in the same place Puri. She was following herself in the Guru Parampara and of the taken him as the Guru. Now here, the Guru has expired a couple of years ago. Now, I have advised her, she's following my advice in the sense that she's coming in the line of spiritual advancement as advice. So, here she question that now Guru has told her to do this tapa and other things which she is following. Now, I advise that Krishna is above everything and you should follow whatever Krishna has prescribed in the past spiritually. Now, she has asked a question to be clarified from you rather than me. That what she should do. Should she follow the Guru Parampara and then also this, or she can avoid that and follow this path? So she has a lot of confusion on that.
Oh. So then I need to talk with her directly, because I don't know what she is following. If I tell her to stop without understanding it properly, then I may land up into problem. I don't want to advise without having proper knowledge of what she is doing, what is wrong and right. I have to first hear the story fully, what she is following, what she is not following. Based on that, I can give my comments. And personally, when that person is concerned, because she is a person, so I would like to talk with her directly, then only answer, because she is already following someone, and what she is following, I need to first hear who is that person, whether that person is truly connected to some Guru Parampara or just some upstart. And we really, I don't know anything, so how do I comment about anyone? So if you can talk with Hari Prasad and arrange a meeting, you can be there in that meeting, and that lady and one of our devotee also, I would request to be there. You can ask some other devotees also to be there. So if the lady is a Bengali, then ask some other Bengali Prabhujis and Mataji can be there. So then we can have a meeting, and then she can speak what she wants to speak. Then I can inquire from her directly, because she will speak something. Based on that, I will make some inquiries. Then only I can understand that what she is following is proper or not proper. Just like a doctor, the doctor will not when I had some sickness, the health in charge started talking with one doctor and telling that you give some medicine. The doctor said, I will talk with the patient only. Before talking with the patient, I will not give any medicine. That's my principle. So that is like that. If that lady is the lady, then I would like to talk with her and inquire what she has been following, what is right, what is wrong. Then I can tell. So you can arrange a meeting. I would then I can tell her directly. Okay, is that okay? We can arrange a Zoom meeting. No problem. I can arrange a Zoom meeting. Hare Krishna. We can arrange a Zoom meeting. Just like you are in Delhi, I am in Calcutta, we can still interact. So similarly, she can be in Kalyani, you can be in Delhi, and I can be in Calcutta, and all can interact.
That can be done in different times, not in the class.
In Zoom, we can take a meeting appointment. You can contact Hari Prasad. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hari Bol, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.